Okay, special forms, factoring special forms. Learning objectives. Number one, factor the difference of two squares. So we know that factor of different squares, like if you have a square minus b square, it's going to equal what? A minus b, a plus b. Write it down in your booklet so you could remember this. Okay. Factor perfect square trinomial. Okay. Number three, use grouping to obtain the difference of two squares. Number four, factor the sum or difference of two cubes. And the formula for the factor of sum or difference of two cubes is here. So I'm just going to complete it here. It's going to be plus AB plus B squared. Remember, if this is negative, this become a positive. So if I have like this, for example, in this case, it's going to be A plus B. And here it's going to be A squared. Now, since this is plus, this become a negative. Okay. Those are some of the formula that we're going to use for section 5.5. Okay. Let us go to the first example, which is factor each difference of two squares. Okay. I'll leave the file in the Blackboard so you can copy the formulas. So, for example, here I have x squared minus 49. We know that 49 is what? It's 7 squared. So in this case, is this different? Yes, different. Why? Because I have negative here. So it's going to be x 7 minus plus. Same thing for this one. 16 is 4 squared. And 25, what is 25? Is 5 squared. So do you have negative in the middle? Yes. So we can do different of squares. So it's going to be 4y, 5 minus plus. Let's go for number 2. 25 is 5 squared. Do we have negative? Yes. Okay, so different of squares. So it's going to be xy, 5 minus plus. Number 4. Here I have, do we have negative? Yes. Do we have squared? Yes. So you just make 2 parentheses. So it's going to be AA. And this is B minus 2 is together, right? And become B minus 2 here also. One is plus, or one is minus, and one is plus. Does it matter which one you put first? Negative first or positive? It doesn't matter. Next one. 36, it's 6 squared. So do we have negative in the middle? Yes. So that's different of squares. So it's going to be 6, BB. And don't forget A here, and you can make plus, minus. Does it matter? Negative first or positive first? It doesn't matter. Okay. Number 6. Here 9 is what? 3 squared. And we have negative in the middle. And this one can be 1 squared. So it's different of squares. So it's going to be 3x, 1 minus plus. Let's go for the second part here. Factor completely or state that the polynomial is prime. Prime means it doesn't have factoring. Okay. So let's go for the first number 7. Here, what is the greatest common factor? It's 5, correct? So take 5 outside. So what's left? X squared plus 5y squared. That's it. You cannot factor anymore. So this is your final answer. Next one here. I take 6 as greatest common factor. So if you take 6 outside, what's left? It's going to be x squared minus 16. Now, can I factor this? Yes, I can factor it. Difference of square. X 4 plus minus. And don't forget the 6 outside. Next one, number 9. What is greatest common factor here? 2. So take 2 outside. What's left? X cubed. Now, what else I can take? I can take also y as a common. Can I take x as a common as well? Yes, I can take x as common. So you can take also x. So instead of x squared, it's going to be x what? Instead of x cubed, it's going to be x what? Square. Minus 4. Can I? 4 is what by it's considered what? 2 squared, correct? So I can do difference of squares. X and x, 2 minus plus, and then 2xy. Number 10. Do we have greatest common factor here?
Yes.
What is the greatest common factor?
6.
6 is 6 goes to 49? No. Okay, fine. Then I don't have greatest common factor. Can I say 36? We said it's 6 square, right? 49 is what? 7 square. So I can do difference of squares. The answer is no. Why? Because this one is positive here. We said it has to be difference of squares. So we cannot do that. Number 11. X to the power of 4 minus 8. Okay. So x to the power of 4, and this is x to the power of 4, it's x squared all squared, right? What about 8? 8 is what?
4.
3 squared squared, right? And do we have negative here? Yes. So we can do difference of squares, right? So it's going to be x squared, 3 squared, minus plus. I still can do one more. Which one I can do more? This one. This part, x squared minus 3, 9, minus 3 squared. I can make it extra. So we're going to have 2 parentheses, right? Don't forget we have x squared plus 3 squared. Here we cannot do anything. But here I can do x, 3. 1 time minus, 1 times plus, because of different squares. For number 12, I leave it for you for classwork. You can do it later. Number 13. How many terms do I have here? 1, 2, 3. 3 terms. So I can do factoring trinomial. But what type of trinomial? Isn't 49 is 7 squared? Okay. Can I say x and x? Yes. Can I say 7y? What about the sign? It has to be what? Negative, because If you do the happy face, you're gonna get what? Negative 7xy and negative 7xy. That give you what? That give you what? Negative 14xy. So do we have negative 14xy in the middle here? The answer is no. Therefore, this is what? Prime. I cannot factor it. Clear? Let's go to the next one. X squared. And I have plus 4xy plus 4y squared. Let's do trinomial factoring. X and x. 4y squared, so we have y, 2 and 2. Can I say plus plus? Now let's do the happy face. So you're going to get 2xy, 2xy. What's the total? 4xy. Do we have 4xy here? Yes. So this is a true. Okay. Next one. 15. I have x squared plus 10xy plus 25y squared. Okay, so how many terms here? 3. X, 5y, 5y, plus, plus. Now, if you do the happy face, you will get how much? 10xy. Next one. I have 16x squared plus 24x plus 9. You have 4x, 4x. Now this is, we're gonna try a trial and error. See if it's gonna be correct. Okay. So 9 can be 3 times 3. Now if I multiply this together and this together, does it give you 12x here and this 12x? Does it give you 24x? The answer is yes. So that's correct answer. Don't forget here the plus plus. Okay. Next one. Number 17. I have 4x squared minus 28x plus 49. We're going to do what? 2 parentheses because we have how many terms? 3 terms. Nothing is common, right? No GCF. Do we have GCF? No. So we're going to say 2x, 2x. 49 is 7 times 7, correct? Now, this is good. If you do the happy face, you get 14x. 14x. Does it give you 28x? Yes, and you need negative, negative. Next one, number 18. 9x squared minus 48x plus 64. Do we have anything common here? Do we have GCF?
No.
No. How many terms do we have? 3. So we'll do trinomial factoring. Okay. 3x, 3x. 64 is 8 by 8. This together give you how much? 24x. And this give you 24x. Is their total give you 48? Yes. So this has to be minus and this has to be minus. Also, you have to be careful with when you multiply negative 8 times negative 8. It should give you negative positive what? 64. So the last term, the last 2 terms, you have to multiply them and to make sure that they are equal to the final term on the original expression. And the same thing here. 3 times 3 give you what? 9. Same thing here. 5y times 5y give you what? 25a y squared. Okay? So you have to look at the last term as well. Not only the middle term. Let's go for factoring by grouping. So I have x cubed or x squared minus 2x plus 1 minus y squared. How many terms here? We'll do it grouping, right? Do we have GCF? No. So we take the first 2 and the last 2. The first 2 is going to be what? X squared minus 2x together plus, and then 1 minus y squared. Now, what is greatest common factor here? X, correct? So what's left? X minus 2. Okay? What's the... Can I solve this? Can I add 2 here to this one? To the 1? It become 1 squared. And then we can make what? It's called difference of squares. It's going to be 1, 1, y, 1 minus 1 plus. So that's your final answer. Nothing else more. Okay? Next one. How many terms do we have here? 4. So that's by grouping, right? If I take the first two, what is common here? Greatest common factor. X. What's left? X plus 12. Okay, plus here. 36. 36 is 6 square minus y square. Is there any difference of squares here? Yeah, 6 and 6. Y minus plus. And don't forget, at the beginning here, we have x plus 12. Okay? Okay, let's move to the next one. Number 21. Factor using formula for the sum or the difference of two cubes. Do you remember we talked about this in the beginning of the class? We said that the formula for this a cube minus b cube equal what? Equal a plus b, well, minus. And here is going to be a squared. And we take the opposite of the negative, become what? Positive. So it's going to be a plus b squared. Okay? That's the difference, the sum or difference of what? Two cubes. Okay? This is the formula. So now let's go for number 21. 21 is going to be what? 8 is what? 2 cube, correct? Yes. 27 is what? 3 cube, correct? So in this case, I can just make the difference of 2 cubes. So it's going to be 2a minus 27, we said is what? 3, right? Now, what's the square of 2a? 4a squared, correct? Plus, multiply the first time the second. What you're going to get? 6a. Square the last. How much? Plus 9. Okay? Let's do another one. Here I have y cubed plus 125. 125 is what? Is 5 to the power of what? 3. Correct? So you have y cubed. So that's different or sum of 2 cubes, right? So we have one short parenthesis and one long parenthesis. So I'm going to put y and 5. And in the middle here is going to be what? Plus. Okay. Now, what is y squared? It's y squared, right? And this is plus. What is the sign is going to be in the middle here? Minus, because it's the opposite. Now, if you multiply y times 5, what are you going to get? 5y. And if you square 5, what are you going to get? 25. So it's going to be plus 25. Easy? Okay. So please use my MATLAB to complete your assignment on my MATLAB, okay? I'm gonna